This is it. Let me just say that video games are awesome. They allow you to be transported into another world and explore said world, whether it be as a fast blue hedgehog or as a pointy-eared elf man. Games have helped me and many others escape from the hardships of life, and for that reason games will always be something I go back to have a good time. And these are the 10 that I go back to the most. Let the final countdown commence! The 3DS was a pretty good system, and with the Switch right around the corner, I highly doubt that Nintendo will still invest in a handheld system. This could mean the end of the DS era of games, but in return we'll get some great Switch games. That being said, the 3DS had a very rocky start, and struggled to get a grip on itself. Then comes Sakurai, and he's like, I don't know, let's fucking put it on the system. Who wants to smash 6? Holy crap, this game is just a boatload of fun from the first level to the last. The gameplay, while highly criticized, is not something I had a hard time with. Granted, it takes some getting used to, but it is actually pretty comfortable once you get the hang of it. Although this game takes some getting used to gameplay-wise, you probably know what this is on here.
Hades! 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 Hades!
Yeah, the writing and voice acting for this game is top-notch. And I don't mean like in a, hey, this is kind of funny way. I mean in an, I can't stop laughing, I'm dying, whoops kind of way. When your character is so funny and charming that it convinces a 20-something-year-old man to impersonate said character on nearly any occasion, it's pretty clear that it's quality. Visual quality is, holy shit! Is this a PS3 game or a 3DS game? Oh my lordy, this is amazing. And that's how the Grinch stole Christmas. It's not what you were talking about. Shut up!
Victory!
Rhythm gaming is a fickle beast. Because there were so many after the release and success of Guitar Hero 3, the market became saturated and it took until last year to get new installments for Rock Band and Guitar Hero. That being said, none of the games released when the market was under the attack of the rock gods were bad. In fact, some of them were really good, including this one. When talking about a rhythm game, it's important to talk about the songs chosen to play. And oh my god, BYOB Hotel California, pull me under, I can't. Dead already. Yep, needless to say, this has my favorite set list of any rhythm game ever. I'm pretty sure this game shaped my taste in music anyways. I should probably mention that some of these games are from my young ages, and this one is no exception. Granted, I played the shit out of Guitar Hero 3 too, but my hours sunk into this one are nearly endless, partly because of one addition: drums. Now, if you couldn't tell, and I have no idea how you couldn't, I'm a drummer slash percussionist myself. And the fact that drums were in this iteration of Guitar Hero just blew my 8-year-old mind. If I'm being honest, some things do bug me, like the non-existent story or how you have to play for songs you don't want it to progress, but all in all, it's a fun game that tries to be nothing more than a good time. And I can admire that. Now, I'm not usually the shooting McBang-Bang type of gamer. Matter of fact, I prefer any other weapon to a gun. But there have been some instances where shooters have appealed to me. Team Fortress basically introduced the idea of, hey, maybe instead of being brown all the time like the tier 3 are, you can have color in your shooting game. Then came Nintendo. Oh my god, this game is so colorful. I love it! Yes, this game is indeed very colorful and pretty to look at. But as they say, beauty is only ink deep, so let's dive deeper into this inkling of a game. I'll stop now. The game takes the concept of turning from a kid to a squid and turns it into something masterful. The combat is nice and balanced with a mix of melee and gunplay action, and also brushes. But in reality, this game features some of the best and most creative weapons I've ever seen in a video game. And I think the creativity of this game stems from the concept. That being kid squids that shooting censored, not safe for work. The music, oh my god, the music is so good. With the 90s Nick aesthetic, you would expect some punk guitar work, and it is glorious. Not only is the guitar work nothing short of magnificent, but I also have to compliment the composition as well. It really gets you pumped to go lay out that ink and win that match. It's fucking brilliant. All in all, Splatoon is a fucking great game that is totally worth your time and money, even with that bare as fuck launch. When it comes to gaming icons, none are more popular than the fat Italian plumber from Brooklyn. Mario's games are damn near flawless, with the only problems usually being just wanting more. Eventually, though, there would be a flawed Mario game. And I fucking love that one. Now, listen. I know fully well that this game is not the best Mario game out there. Far from it. Matter of fact, it's most likely the worst game critically. But, fuck it. I don't fucking care. I love this game. Firstly, this game's overworld is great and just big enough so that it's filled to the brim with things to do with enough breathing room. Cough, cough, Twilight Princess, cough! Secondly, this game's control is one of the greatest things to exist in a Mario game. You can blame that privilege onto the GameCube controller, but I don't care, it's fucking great. Thirdly, that tropical setting is quite possibly the best looking thing on the GameCube. And this is the system that also hosted fucking Twilight Princess and Resident Evil 4. Now, this game is my favorite Mario game, but certainly not my favorite platformer. You'll see that one later. But I can say that without a doubt in my mind, this game has my favorite physics engine in a Mario game. You can mess around with it so much, and everything you can do with it is so much fun. And granted, this is the reason why some of the levels can suck my dick! And that's why Mario Sunshine is full of sun. And shine. Whoops, I'll go kill myself. Now, when I first got into gaming, I wanted to play a game to experience playing through a movie. I loved movies, and I felt inclined to go on an adventure as Indiana Jones or wield a lightsaber. I guess this is why I love Uncharted so much. And hey, I'm a sucker for a good game, so with all that in mind, is it any wonder which game is next? Cinematics through gameplay is the coin phrase with this game, and I think it fits. Through the puzzle-based gameplay, the game comes out and says, hey, we know you're an action hero. Now think like one. And the gunplay accentuates this fascination with cinematics, being that Drake can take a fucking shotgun to the head and be fine. But gameplay isn't everything. Matter of fact, you can even say that music and visuals are just as important as gameplay. Visuals look fucking astonishing. Even more so on the PS4 re-release. The music is out of this world. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better orchestra or composition. All in all, Uncharted 2's strengths all culminate into one particular thing. The writing and the characters. Of course, the writing in this game is outstanding.
And you, Victor goddamn Sullivan.
You brought a hooker to church? Why not?
Really? 5 minutes? Well, that's great. I won't even have to get my top off.
Chloe, I was thinking more like an explosion.
Or that. Can be arranged.
And the characters are well written to boot. So as a game that acts like a movie, it's great. As a game, it's great. Everything about this game is great, and yet I can still find 5 that I like more. How about that?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared were you that I was gonna die?
4.
4?
Yeah, why?
A 4.
Yeah.
You were at least an 8.
An 8?
You were a total 8.
An 8? Those Guardian things were an 8.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, those were terrifying.
What's a 10?
Clowns?
Sonic the Hedgehog is an enchilada made up of the finest margaritas. He has stapled himself to a wall 2 times already, and yeah, he's a pretty douchey bat, but I think he has some incredible games. Even the shitty one. In all seriousness, Sonic Colors is a damn fine game. That's some good gameplay. The control felt in this game is quite possibly the best control Sonic has had since the original trilogy on the Genesis. He handles like a car. If you know what you're doing, you're gonna have a really fun time. But if you don't know what you're doing, splat! The speed in this game is earned, not given, and I think that makes this game beautiful to play. It's also pretty to look at too. The visuals are nothing short of amazing, especially if you're playing this on the Wii U, though you would have to sacrifice the near-perfect control of the GameCube controller. The soundtrack, as per usual with the Sonic franchise, is super good, and each level fits perfectly. And Planet Wisp, oh my god! All in all, Sonic Colors is a good time to be had. Hedgehog or otherwise. Pokemon is a game best experienced with a fresh young mind. I can tell because, over time, I've been getting less and less interested in each installment. I think the last one I was truly excited for was X, and since then I've been steadily decreasing in interest for the series. That being said, I grew up on Generation 2 of Pokemon, and let me tell you, it's a fucking great gen to be introduced to. Not as much problems as Gen 1, but not that full state of refinement. Now, Gen 2 were my first Pokemon games, but the game that got me into Pokemon, now that's a different story. This game has so much content that it's not even funny. Okay, maybe it's a little bit funny. For those of you who don't know, for some odd reason, the goal in Pokemon is to catch all the Pokemon. Yes. You gotta catch them all. I feel terrible now. And I honestly think that catching Pokemon was the most fun in Soul Silver. Partly because I'm biased towards the game, but you always have the prospect of getting to train a little creature to grow to be a ferocious warrior in combat. And speaking of combat, given how Gen 4 updated the already pretty good layout from Gen 3, that makes these games even better gameplay-wise. The new Pokemon following thing was also really cool, especially if you had an Arceus or something like that. Now let's talk about the visuals. Because this game was on the DS, its visuals are nothing to write home about. But every Pokemon game has Game Freak push its individual specs to its absolute limits. And these games are no exceptions. I guess the best way to put it is that these games look fantastic for the system and time they were made. They are certainly better looking than Diamond and Pearl, but not as good looking as White or Black. Now, growing up, I had a couple Pokemon VHS tapes, and among those were Pokemon 2000 and Pokemon the third movie. And let me say it now, 2000 made me fall in love with Lugia, just because of how badass he was. He single-handedly fucking fought the Bertriel from Kanto. That's so fucking cool! And because of this love for Lugia, I immediately wanted this game to add to my collection. And speaking of adding, just in case Johto wasn't enough for you, You can also visit the Kanto region, complete with all the gyms, and then challenge yourself in the previous remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green. All in all, Pokemon Soul Silver is the Pokemon game in which I have the most fun, and I can state that with my head up high or when I'm down in the dumps. It's a good time from beginning to end. Fighting games have always been super fun for me. Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and even maybe Street Fighter. That all said and done, Smash Bros. Is and always will be my favorite fighting franchise, and one of my favorite franchises in general. I mean, where else can you see Cloud Strife dunk on a fucking Jigglypuff? It's pretty cool. That being said, I believe there is one Smash game that has never been trumped by another. It's time for a melee! Holy shit, what a shocker, it's a GameCube game! What can I say, I love the purple lunchbox. With all that in mind, I can safely say that Super Smash Bros. Melee is my favorite Smash game. But why? In all honesty, it has absolutely nothing to do with the competitive scene. I love Melee for what it is, and that is a fighting game with an awesome roster and a kick-ass physics engine. The characters in this game are unlike no other. In fact, I have this game to thank for introducing me to so many other franchises like Zelda, Metroid, and Fire Emblem. Somewhat. The stage selection is also so fucking good. All the stages are super fun, except for Icicle Mountain. Ah! And every single stage is guaranteed to have at least one good memory from me. The characters, as well as introducing me to other franchises as a whole, were also super fun to play around with and just have the fun meeting the shit out of the other ones. Captain Falcon Marth and fucking Ganondorf are some of my favorites, just because of how fun they are to play and punch a Pikachu to death with. The single player of this game is also super fun and easy to pick up, especially if you're like me and want to play Classic and Adventure and All-Star over and over and over again. All-Star? Over and over? The years start coming and they don't stop 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 coming. Wow, what a concept. With that in mind, the game's replay value is off the fucking chain. The single player is always fun and rewarding, trophies keep me occupied when I'm bored, and the multiplayer is quite possibly the best in any single game I've played. Ever. Super Smash Bros. Melee is the game that I go back to any single time I need stress relief, or just need a good time with my pro Marth. Fighting never felt so good. Never in my life have I played a game as weird as Kingdom Hearts. I mean, for fuck's sake, this game franchise hosts both fucking Leon and Winnie the Pooh. That shit's pretty weird. That being said, Kingdom Hearts is home to my favorite gameplay style in any game. That is, get up in there and wreck shit right up, son! It's pretty fun. With all that in mind, my favorite Kingdom Hearts game is one that I have many fond memories of. And that one is number 2. It's time for nostalgia. Holy crap, so many good memories with this game. Nothing really has gone or returned in my mind when it comes to this game. I love every single aspect of the game, including what many consider down points, i.e. calling it a triangle simulator. And I fucking hate those people. The gameplay in this, holy fuck, the gameplay is so good. It's like a hack and slash beat 'em up RPG hybrid and I love it. Some people may say it's too easy, and to that I say, have you tried critical mode? Because if you have, fuck! God damn it, shit on a stick! Steak and shake cheeseburgers on a Friday morning. Oh. In short, it's really fun. Now, a bit of a confession. I love going on an adventure. And this game is an adventure. The sheer amount of worlds, the expansion of every single one of those worlds, tons of things to do, to explore, and even more. It's all really fun to visit and find all the unlockable chests and whatnot. The story, while being crap, is also pretty good, if you were like me and were 6 at the time of release. I know that the story is convoluted and messy, but what I think saves it is the stellar voice acting. I mean, you can't get better than this cast of at least 80 plus people, Disney and Square characters included. I guess the best way to describe the story is that it's an epic, and just like any great epic, it needs a great villain. And let me tell you, Organization 13 is certainly great. Maybe not as good as other villains in other games in the series, but still really good. The bosses in this game, oh my god, the bosses. They're so much fun to fight and figure out their own weaknesses. The idea of being the chosen one, to be the savior of worlds, and getting to explore and fight these fascinating creatures with great characters all around, such as Roxas Riku and yes, of course, Sora, is always appealing to me. In short, this game is super fun, and I love it for that. I could go on forever with this game, with its weaknesses, its strengths, and its overall quality. But I think the real reason this is on this list is for one reason and one reason alone. Nostalgia. Nostalgia blinds us to even the most basic of critical thinking. And when you're a kid, anything can be as good as you want it to be. This game just so happens to be one of those things. I love this game, and it just so happens that this game really helps to be super fun. It's a good time from beginning to end. Now, seal the keyhole! Adventure. The experience of adventuring is near 1 to the things I love in life list. Jesus, that was a lot of vowels. And no games have dealt with the feeling of adventure as well as The Legend of Zelda. Yes, I have said on numerous occasions that Zelda is my favorite gaming franchise, and because of that, it's no surprise that one of these games would be on this list. A Link to the Past? No, it's not it. Twilight Princess? Do you really think my favorite game of all time would have a female Snow Yeti bobslide minigame? Ocarina of Time? No. To understand my favorite game of all time, we have to go back to the 6th generation of consoles. Nintendo and a whole bunch of cartoony graphics. It's fucking right. I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is a popular opinion. Far from it, in fact. But I'm just gonna stick to my gut and talk from the heart here. I fucking love this game. The reason this game is my favorite lies in 5 points. 1. The graphics of this game are so endearing and lighthearted that it feels welcoming to the younger crowd, which was me at the time. 2. The music gives the feeling of a grand adventure, and is also really catchy to boot. 3. The gameplay offers new swordplay, which is highly improved from Ocarina of Time. 4. Sailing gives you a chance to reflect on the events you just encountered, and it's also really relaxing and or enthralling. And 5. It's just a damn fun game. This game is a textbook example of gameplay and having fun trumping the story. The story itself is good, albeit predictable, but all in all, it's a fun time. The gameplay, as said before, is Ocarina of Time done right. The ability to switch how you alt-target, the parry attacks allow for better combat flow, and the Great Sea is actually filled with things to do, whether it be shooting a giant squid or visiting any of the 49 islands scattered around the world. But I think it's time to talk about my favorite character in all of gaming, Wind Waker Link. This kid started out as a humble nobody, just wanting to chill out on his lookout on Outset Island, and having nothing to do with heroics or the Triforce or any of that. Then he gets the garbs of the hero, not because of any Knight Academy, but because he was gifted them from his caring but concerned guardian. Then his sister gets kidnapped. This is his cause to go out on this huge, grand adventure, not because he just needs to, not because it's his destiny, but because he cares for his sister. He then gathers the 3 pearls of the goddesses and goes on a trial to get the Master Sword. And he succeeds. He gets the Master Sword through sheer will and grit. He then powers up the Master Sword through help. And then he gets the Triforce, not because it was gift wrapped for him, but because he earned it. And that's my main point with this Link. He earns every single victory he gets. He never starts out with the carbs, he never dreamed of being a great hero. But by the end of the game, he's earned it. You may be asking, why does this make this game your favorite? Because the game puts you in the center of all that. You are Link. You are an adventurer. You earn the Master Sword. You earn the Triforce. You defeat Ganondorf at the end of the game. You save the world. And because of this, Wind Waker is the only game to make me openly weep when beating it for the first time. All my life I wanted to be this person I never could be, due to how much I love to adventure but can't due to physical disabilities. I just wanted to explore. I wanted to be an adventurer. I wanted to be a hero. And I thank Wind Waker every single day for granting me my wish in such a beautiful way. And that's the best way to describe this game. A journey from beginning to end. And that's why The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker is and always will be my favorite game of all time. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching so long, and I hope you enjoyed your stay. This is Teddy M, signing off for the last time. Bye.
Like walking into a dream, someone like what you've seen, so mature but it seems God's been waiting for you, falling into this place, just giving you a small taste of your afterlife, yes, I'll stay.